Irony, I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down, from Kendrick Lamar. Let Lil Wayne down.
I can't take this shit.
Curtis, D-I-Y.
We're reacting today to this interview that Lil Wayne had on the Skip Bayless platform. You may know Skip Bayless. He's a sports analyst and a longtime friend of Lil Wayne. Not only do they speak about Lil Wayne's disappointment in not being invited to the Super Bowl, but more specifically, I want to react to the conversation that Lil Wayne said that he had offline with Kendrick Lamar after we got somewhat of a reaction in a tweet to the whacked out Murals verse that Kendrick expressed, where he said that even my hard work let Lil Wayne down. We get to hear a more sober Wayne in this conversation. Listen to what he had to say, and I'll share some thoughts along the way.
Explain this part to me, because I don't know the backstory of this, but what Kendrick Lamar, you know, what his lyrics were about you. What can you explain? I'll just quickly read them. I know you know them. I used to bump that Carter 3. Okay.
Lil Wayne just expressed that he's never heard the lyrics. This is not the first time. Anybody who's followed Lil Wayne interviews in the past, he's very transparent and not always being in the know of what's happening in rap. Right, he's very much to himself in his own world. With that said, I'm gonna let this go a little bit longer, of course, but then I obviously want to bring up this tweet because I think it's interesting because he kind of sound like the verge of crashing out on the tweet. But let's continue it.
I used to bump that Carter 3. I held my Rolly chain proud. Irony, I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down, from Kendrick Lamar. Let Lil Wayne down.
I can't take this shit serious. We gotta knock this shit off, Wayne. Wayne, we gotta knock this off. It's the look in the face. Okay, I'm following. You know damn well somebody done showed you a Genius page with them lyrics up there. Somebody might have gassed it up, but come on now. Oh, interesting. Oh, stop it, Wayne.
I don't really understand that. What? Help me out. What was that about?
That was my first time hearing it, but I think he just, you know, I think he's a fan, like I'm a fan of his music. Sure. He's a fan of mine. Yeah. I think
he's definitely a fan of yours. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so I think he just mean by he saw what everybody else he saw how much it meant to me. And I think that's all he mean.
Okay. Hey, you know, this feels like how I felt after going through therapy. I don't know what his situation is. I'm going to speak on me. After you go to therapy, you start to like come back with a much more sober perspective on things. You say, you know what? Maybe my initial reaction was a blinded reaction. And maybe now I need to reframe this. And I listened to him and it sounds like it's a lot of reframing, but you know, we are dealing with the internet. Wayne, man, we are dealing with the internet. This tweet felt like it had a whole lot of energy and steam on it. And not to rehash things, I love to see peace. I want to see that happen. But these things do happen as well. And this was a tweet that popped out a day after Kendrick's GNX project dropped. And obviously that's where you can find Whacked Out Murals, the intro. He says, man, what the F I do? I just be chilling and they still come for my head. Let's not take my kindness for weakness. Let this giant sleep, I beg you all. No one really wants destruction, not even me, but I shall destroy if disturbed. On me, love. That's crazy to put love at the end, but look, everybody in their mama knew exactly what this was referring to in the moment. And I don't think that this is saying that he's not, you know, he doesn't have the right to have emotions around a verse that mentions his name. But I think everybody, and you can still see some of the comments in here, folks were saying like it wasn't that deep, right? If anything, Kendrick was expressing being a fan of Wayne's, and you know, he felt like maybe his hard work, in which he earned that spot to be at the Super Bowl, was letting Lil Wayne down. But take Wayne's word for it. This is the first time ever hearing them lyrics. I don't know what he was reacting to that day. Maybe it was something unrelated, but he had to share it with the world. Whatever. That's cool. Let's keep it going.
Is that, you know, I don't think and when we speak, and obviously he can't control that. And, so he didn't let me know. It ain't like he can control it or nothing. And also, I've spoken to him and I wished him all the best and told him he
Did you?
better
Good.
kill it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you better kill it. You gotta kill it.
I think we should take this time and think about all the outlets, every single one of them, that reported that Wayne called Kendrick in this imaginary narrative. He called Kendrick and Kendrick didn't pick the phone up. There's a big difference between the entertainment of the things that we see on this end of things and what really happens in real life. And these conversations are a lot less cinematic and a lot less dramatic than I think many of us envision them from the outside looking in. But he said they just had a conversation, and I don't know why otherwise, outside the battle at least, between Drake and Kendrick, and obviously, Drake's relationship with Wayne and business relationship, I don't see why they wouldn't have a solid conversation. I don't know. Here's my issue. What is Wayne having a conversation about if it's not clearing up that? Like, I would love to know the timeline of when this happened. The conversation, obviously, he talks about it, is around the Super Bowl. But if you didn't even listen to the lyrics, like, what we clearing up? Huh? Maybe it's the comments around the Super Bowl. I don't know. Let's continue.
Okay. Well, did he say anything to enlighten you about these lyrics about you? I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down. I don't know exactly what that means. If he's sort of...
No, he ain't. I don't think he knew he didn't have to do anything. There was no explanation that was needed for that. I think I understand. Again, that was my first time hearing it when you just said it.
Okay.
But I understand those words. Like I said, I think he just mean that he made it there, and his hard work is the reason why he made it there.
Yeah.
And obviously,
I took
let
it
me down is me just being upset about not getting this.
Can I just say one thing? I know I'm interrupting the interrupter, but Skip Bayless, you got a whole lot of wanting to. I think you just sounded like you were perplexed. I don't know what he meant by that, but you have a perspective on it. That's crazy. I'm gonna just leave it at that. The more I listen to this, the more that I start to really feel like maybe he had a conversation with either a therapist or somebody that he trusts. And they were like, when cooler heads prevail, they were like, whoever gassed you up, because I still think somebody gassed him up like, we got to get these niggas. They went out to Drake, now they going out to... I think somebody gassed him up. I think somebody fed him incorrect information, and his reaction was maybe the one that we saw on Twitter. But, yeah, man, continue.
Why am I not getting that? So that's fine.
Yeah. When he says, I worked hard, and then it undercut you in your hometown. Like I worked as hard as I could, and I got to a point where unfortunately it let you down because I preempted you on what should have been your stage.
Without having any control of it. So that's actually him expressing his showing that he has a heart, and showing that he actually have he care about the situation.
Okay,
so he could go about it totally different. He could go like this is what I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay, but you guys are cool. You have talked.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Brr, 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 brr. Brr.
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
I just got to look at other folks in this media space a little different. When it's all this gassing about Lil Wayne's in the booth, Lil Wayne got something down, I don't trust nothing. All this shit wrestling. It's shit wrestling until it ain't wrestling. Lil Wayne was in the booth. Lil Wayne was responding. It was even folks out here who were utilizing AI. Matter of fact, can I even find that up here? There were folks out here who were utilizing AI. Lil Wayne AI diss over it. What this?
They can't be Weezy. Hall of Fame mode, this shit too easy.
I hate this time period sometimes. The inclusion of AI in the midst of all this stuff just confuses things unnecessarily. You got folks that like hit a J3 who are like, yo, what you coming at my folks for? Is somebody clear this up? The fact that a stranger can create an experience like that and the real person has to clear it up, I still have issues about why that has not been regulated, but is what it is. I do see here an opportunity for growth. I do see in a situation in which it seems like Wayne has allowed time to pass and is probably seeing perspective outside of the bubble of being Lil Wayne. And for a second and saying like, damn, at one point in time, I was that young dude. And I use the word young loosely because obviously it ain't like Kendrick is in his 20s or whatnot, but he was once that guy that one of his OGs, seemed to be the opposite of congratulating him for his accomplishments. And maybe he cared, maybe he didn't care, whatever the case may be. I'm sure he knows what that's like to be in those shoes. And he knows, like, look, Kendrick Lamar doesn't have control over being chosen for that spot, so he shouldn't be aimed at. I don't think Wayne did a whole lot of specific blaming. I think the biggest issue people had was that you did not once hear Wayne in the midst of all the different interviews he did say, congratulations, Dot. As somebody that was a fan of me, this the next best thing is that somebody who was influenced by me is on that stage. Now, I would have loved to be on that damn stage because it's in my hometown. My mama could have seen it. But somebody who's a fan of me, who's inspired by me is on that stage, salute. And I feel like that's kind of where we're getting to now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I told him he got to kill it. That's what I told him. I told him he got to smash it.
Well, he will smash it. I'm sure
yes,
he will.
Of course he will.
So is there any way last second that you would be asked to make a little appearance with him on stage?
I'm not going to even be in the country.
Okay. All right. Okay. I appreciate that. I actually love that and endorse that. I think that would.
Like I said, I ain't even going to be in the country. Look, Drake leaving. Drake gone. He going to Australia. What is it called? I need a win. Whatever that shit called. He gonna be in Australia. Wayne gonna be somewhere in the world. Anywhere except for the epicenter of New Orleans, which I expect to be an insane week in hip hop. Because I'm still thinking about the Grammys leading up to that and the explosion or the ripple effect of winning winning some Grammys for Not Like Us, and then turning around and seeing like this is, as we're starting to think about all the legal issues that are starting to arise by Drake, obviously bringing UMG into this, into defamation cases and, trying to accuse them of, kind of tipping the scale in favor of Kendrick, all these different things. I keep hearing people make the connection. I think 50 even said it, amongst a lot of things, that this is all trying to take some of the momentum and some of the incentive and also maybe even legally handicap the ability of Not Like Us to be performed at the Super Bowl. That ain't gonna happen. That's finna go down. Imagine a song like that winning. If it's not going down, it's gotta happen at the Grammys first. Okay? I'm not trying to give Drake a game plan. It's got to happen at the Grammys first. Ain't no way in hell. Rap Song of the Year or whatever other categories that it wins, it doesn't get performed the next week over at the Super Bowl. That's just not going to happen. Money-wise, it doesn't even make any sense for the NFL that you don't perform the song that obviously everybody in this space has had a lot of excitement around as of recent in what you're doing. Obviously, his catalog is extensive. And he's got more songs on GNX to perform, but come on now. Outside of that, though, salute to Wayne. It takes a bit of maturity. I know some people are still not happy. Some people still feel like maybe.
I remember you was conflicted.
But it takes a big man to at least get to this place, especially when you're in a position where you don't have to do these things, right? He doesn't have to. He could do the rap bravado thing and be like, it ain't my spot. I ain't got shit to say about it. I said what I said and I'm moving on. But I think it does show a lot of maturity to even disclose that because it's none of our business. The conversation that he had with Kendrick on the phone, but he shares that with us. And I think it's good to have that clarity. I do feel a certain way about, it's my first time ever hearing this, but it's neither here nor there. DIYers, those are my thoughts. You let me know what the hell you think about this situation.
DIY.
DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Stop being greedy. Peace.